Hello everyone, my name is Jonathan and this is Jonathan's Days. This is my channel where I talk about all things knitting mainly. Normally it is a knitting podcast, but this is a shorter little special episode about Unravel Festival that happened just a couple of weeks ago. What? A couple of weeks ago? Hi guys, this is future Jonathan here with a shaky cam editing note that yes, it wasn't a couple of weeks ago, it was probably a couple of months ago. We're just about to be in April now and Unravel happened in February, but life got in the way, and even though I filmed this footage for this episode not too long after Unravel, I've only gotten around to editing it now. So apologies for the delay in that, but I still hope you enjoy hearing how I got on at the festival. Regularly scheduled podcasts will be coming up very soon. Because it's been so long, I have a lot to talk to you about. The other important thing that I forgot to include here is meeting the wonderful Martyn, who a lot of you might know as the Welsh Tenor or Knit365 blog on YouTube. And here's a picture of us looking very handsome, him in his Beauceron and me in my hide and peak. And I forgot to mention him in this episode, and I don't know why. It was just a crazy day where I met a bunch of people, but Martyn, it was wonderful to meet you and chat briefly, and if you haven't checked him out, please do. So yeah, let's jump right back into it. I was involved and I attended and I got a lot of stuff, and if I had added it to my previous episode of the podcast, it would have been a very long episode, so I've decided to add this as a little separate episode so that you can hear a bit about my experience. It was my first time ever attending a yarn festival, so I learned a lot, I guess. I experienced a lot, and it was like a lot of fun. So I wanted to talk about what I did, who I saw, and what I got as well, obviously. I will start, however, with what I'm wearing, which is what I wore to the festival. If you watched the previous episode of the podcast, you saw me holding this up, but this is me wearing it. It's a little bit baggy here because of my t-shirt. But this is the Hide and Peak by Maxim Cyr, and it's knit using Walcot Yarns Opus. I spoke a lot about it in the previous episodes, I won't talk about it a lot, but this is what I wore to the festival. I know a lot of people like to make something specially for festivals, like there's the Rhinebeck, sweater thing that people do. So when I had some time to make this, I jumped at it because it was fun to have it made for the festival. And I actually saw someone else wearing one, or they had a sample of one as well, so it was quite cool to see other people wearing the same design. But yeah, that's what I'm wearing now, that's what I wore to the festival. And so I'm going to go through chronologically through the entire, it's not just one day for me because I did stuff the previous day before I visited, but just the whole experience for you. So basically it began for me on the Friday because I was asked to host a knit night on the Friday night. The festival ran Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but on the Friday evening I was asked to host a knit night over Zoom. So if you were a digital ticket holder or a regular ticket holder, and you got access to all the digital content as well. So that was something I did. So it was about an hour, and it was called the Die Guys Knit Night because it was with Ted from TedKnits, Kaiti from The Yarn Whisperer, and Dan from Bona Yarns. And so it was just me kind of being the interviewer, leading questions with three dyers and their experience of dyeing and why they dye. It was the first time I'd ever done anything like that. I've never done anything, I've just done my little podcast, and I'd never been to a yarn festival, so it was very nice of Unravel to reach out to me and asked me to do it. But it was so much fun, and thank you to anyone who did join that. It was really, really great. I really enjoyed hearing more about the process of dyeing, why each of the dyers do what they do, how they came to dyeing, how they came to fibre arts in general, what they plan for the future. And also one of the big takeaways for me was that yarn dyeing is kind of, we talked about how it's more of an artistic expression more than anything, and that aspect of as knitters we often will pick a skein of yarn that's dyed in a certain way just because we love it and not necessarily because we need to make something with it. And I just thought it was really nice because there's times when we buy skeins and we're like, oh God, what am I going to make with it, or what am I going to do with it? And it is really okay to just think something is beautiful and just admire the talent and expression of another artist through their colors, and wanting to support that and have that in your life. So that was one of the really big takeaways I had for me. And of course it was great just to chat to the guys and get to know them. I'd followed them before, so it was nice to like speak to them in person. And it also meant that the following day I could go see them in person and chat to them a bit there as well, but I'll get to that in a minute. So that was Friday night, and it was fantastic. I highly recommend joining any talks that you can, or those kind of knit nights. They're super, super fun. You'll always learn something or experience something on them. And it was an absolute pleasure to be a very small part of a very large festival. So that was great. So thank you, Unravel, for that. And so then the Saturday, it was timed entry, but I booked for pretty early in the day. I think I was like 10 or 11 in the morning was when my time was. So because I live in London, and Farnham, where it was being hosted, is a little bit outside of London, I just hopped on a train. I think it was not even an hour. I don't think the train was that long. But I got on the wrong train, and then I figured out which was the right train, so I got on the right train. And as I was sat there, I saw Ellie, Skein Deer Knits, like walking past. So I like jumped out of the train and was like, Ellie, hello. So we'd met before, and so I shouted. There's a theme today of me like shouting at people, so I like shouted at her, and we sat together on the train. She told me that I had the wrong ticket, and she was right. So I had to pay for a ticket on the train. So even though I got on the wrong train and didn't have the right ticket, eventually I did get to Farnham, and it was wonderful to sit and chat with Ellie. If you don't follow Ellie, you should. She's an amazingly talented designer. She also has a podcast, and it was such a treat to start my day chatting with her. And she had been there the previous day as well. So it was good to have like a little bit of a guide for the beginning of the day. So I arrived at Farnham, and Farnham's beautiful, and it's hosted in Farnham Maltings, which is this like beautiful venue, and it was all taken over for Unravel. And so there were talks. I didn't go to any of the talks because mainly I was just kind of overwhelmed by the kind of marketplace and the people exhibiting. So it's kind of before, COVID security and safety, it was like a one-way system. So you'd kind of basically do laps of the I keep saying marketplace, but just the kind of festival in itself with all the exhibitors. So I did I do one lap? Yeah, I did one lap. And in that one lap, I did pick up a few things. I'll do all the stuff I bought all together at the end. But in my first lap, I picked up a small few things. I met some people that I've been looking forward to meeting for a long time. And the main thing in the first lap was I got through the first lap, and I got to like the big room, the largest room there. And if you have been watching other people's podcasts and blogs, I looked up, and in this giant room, and there's kind of a stage, and I see Laura Penrose Knits from a distance, and she's got her camera. And so if you watched her vlog, you will see the moment where we saw each other because she was filming at the time. And so, obviously going there and seeing all the yarn, it was like, the biggest yarn shop you've ever been to, essentially, was wonderful. But like spotting Laura was kind of where the day really kind of became really special for me. So it was one of those things where, because you watch podcasts and things like that, you feel like people, and me and Laura message all the time, so we do chat. But I think it was wonderful because like the ice was really broken because we had so much to talk about like straight away. So we were together for the rest of the day. And then, so she was with Anna, who is of the lovely Anna Socks, is kind of how I know her, which is one of Laura's patterns. So she was with Anna, who is Yarn Moomin on Instagram as well. So by that point, maybe it'd been an hour and a half of like looking at the stalls and stuff like that. So when I'd met Laura, I was like myself a little bit fatigued. Laura had already done a loop and a half, I think, by that point. and they had driven up. So we were all a bit like zapped. So it was great. We were like, let's just sit and knit for a bit. And there's like brief footage of me knitting and them knitting on Laura's vlog. So we sat down, we got like a sausage roll and a coffee and just sat and knit for a bit, and it was like just what I needed to kind of like calm down and relax and just kind of get excited and get to know each other is the wrong word because we know each other, but just chill and do some knitting. And it was kind of in that moment that we were like with I think we had like our trays, and then Rebecca Crabbear was like there, and she's like, hi, and we're like, hi. She's like, I'm doing a loop, and we're like, cool. So so yeah, so it was really, really nice. We sat down, we ate, we chilled, we knit. Both Laura and Anna were working on Laura's new pattern, which is the souffle, which is amazing, and I was just working on my socks. And so we just sat down, chilled out, and then once we had like sufficiently knit and re-energized and refueled, we did another lap, which is when we started I started purchasing in earnest. And on the way, I think not too long after we started that next lap, Rebecca joined us, and then Sophie, the Knit Pearl girl, also joined us, who I knew from Instagram, who has since started a podcast, and she also did a video about Unravel. So we ended up there was like 5 of us like as a crew kind of going around, which is great. Some people during that day stopped both me, Laura, and Rebecca. Like we all had moments where someone stopped us and was like, hi, like I watch your videos. And it was wonderful, absolutely wonderful, and great to meet people and all that, but it was very strange to have people recognize me. It's like, you know, you're feeling like a little celebrity or something, but it was still like really nice just to like chat to people and say hello. And the other thing that we really enjoyed doing was like spotting patterns. You know, we kind of was like, let's make it a drinking game, do a shot every time you see a Stephen West pattern or something like that. But it's really, really great to go around with the lovely ladies, and that's when we started purchasing. So yeah, that was, I'll get into the purchases now. And so we did more laps, we bought some stuff, each of us bought kind of a couple of bits. If you watch their vlogs and podcasts, you'll see what they picked up, because I'm the last person to get this video up. But it was really, really great to spend time with them, to chat with them, to look at things together, to shop together, to be like enablers for each other, and also just to have someone to like bounce things off of. Like I don't really have any in-person yarn friends in London that I can go yarn shopping with and say, hey, what do you think of this color with this color? But yeah, so it was really, really wonderful to spend time with them, and it really like filled me with like joy and positivity to kind of hang out with some internet yarn friends who now I do consider real life friends, because I'm sure we'll be hanging out together again soon. But let's get into the purchases, and I'm going to change my battery. Okay, so purchases. I think I got the most. I was really looking forward to this festival, and I went in with a shopping list because I already knew what I wanted to get. First thing I got was the program, which is very cute. And actually, hold on. Let me see if I can find my name in here. Just fell. Where am I? These. Oh yeah, here it is. There we go. I'm down here. It says Friday, Knit Night with Dye Guys. Join podcaster Jonathan Day and Eddie Dyers from the festival, Bona Yarns, TedKnits UK, and the Yarn Whisperer, 8 to 9 p.m. online. So it was cool to have my name in the program, and I was so I'm going to keep this. It feels very special to have that. But anyway, purchases. So I'll kind of go in chronological order. The first person I bumped into, the first exhibitor I went to is it's a Hide and Hammer. So regular viewers will know that I'm a huge Hide and Hammer bag fan. Every single one of my knitting bags is by Hide and Hammer, and I own 4 of them. 4 of them, and I got a 5th here. So they gave me this wonderful box, and I think you can get this online as well. Order it. So this is the bag I picked up. It is a camo number 8. I don't think I've ever shown it kind of how it comes, but here we go. I'll flip this around. So this is the number 8. Comes like this. This is slightly darker handle color than I normally get, but most of my handles have patinaed now, so they're kind of getting dark anyway, so they all match. I love camouflage in general, so it's very fitting for me, and it's got silver buttons. Laura also picked up one of these. She picked up a lovely mustard yellow one, which is really, really nice. The other bits I picked up are, this is a little like a luggage tag label holder, which, let me get the pop out. So it's got a little pop thing here, so you can put it on your bag and label it, so you know which one, what's in what, which I thought was really, really nice. And then the other 2 things I picked up, which are wonderful. So the first is this one. So this is just a little cuff with the hide and hammer. And you could use this for lots of things. You could hang it off the bags themselves as like an identifier. I've actually been wearing it as a bracelet an awful lot. But the main thing, I'm going to reach, it's so graceful. I'm going to reach up and grab a shawl and a hat, go flying to show you. So it's kind of multi-purpose, but is this the wrong way around? That's the wrong way. So what I really got it for is if I throw this shawl on, so this is the Moon Whistle by Andrea Mowry, and you basically do this and clasp it so that it like holds your shawl closed essentially. So I've used it a ton since I got it, and it really does what it's supposed to, because one of my pet peeves is when, no matter how big a shawl is, that it kind of falls out it just like unravels, and so this kind of keeps it tight and together, and I absolutely love it. I've been using it tons, and I need to get a black one because my Opus shawl is one that definitely does that a lot. It slips off, and that shawl is like pink, white, grey and black, and since this is blue, it doesn't really match super well, so I will be getting another one of those. And the other thing I got is another cuff, but this one, you'll see I've got all stitch markers on it, is a magnetic cuff, and different brands kind of make this something similar, but yeah, basically it's a beautiful leather cuff with like a magnet going along the side, so you can magnetize things to it. And I literally used it the day after I got it to do like raglan, like place stitch markers for a raglan increase, and it's so handy. And the reason I didn't really think about getting it, but I do have an all over cable pattern coming up, and since I don't have a huge amount of experience with cables, I am planning to use a cable needle to begin with, and having something like this that I can just magnetize the cable to so I can keep knitting and then pick it off was something I really, really wanted, or if you were using something that had a lot of stitch markers on and off. So yeah, I absolutely love it. I didn't realize how expensive this was until I actually was going to pay for it. I misread how expensive it was, but so it's definitely a treat, but it is like expertly made. It's expertly made, as is everything that New makes. It was also wonderful to meet New in person. I think we did, and we would get on very, very well. So it was the festival was wonderful, and it was great to hang out with the podcasters, but there were so many exhibitors that I got along with really, really well. It was a bit like, I was kind of like, just close and we can hang out, like I wanted to hang out with people, but obviously they were working essentially. So it's that balance of like, you want to like hang out and chat to them, but you also don't want to like take up too much of their time, because if other people come into the booth and they need to kind of like attend them. So yeah, that was Hide and Hammer. Everyone knows I love Hide and Hammer. I now have 6 of their bags, and they're wonderful, and yeah, I can't say enough about them, and I'm super excited about the magnetic cuff And the other cuff I got as well is great, so I will be getting another one because it's perfect for what I need for shawls, and I like wearing them as a bracelet as well. So then right across the way from Heidenhammer was Walcott Yarns. So Walcott make this yarn, which is Opus. I've used it before on my Opus shawl, and it's the yarn brand that's with a yarn story in Bath. So I've been there before. I'm a huge fan of both the store and both Walcott Yarns. I joined Knit Nights before, so it was my first time meeting Carmen in person and meeting Kieran in person because we chat all the time, so it was great to meet them in person. And they were also debuting a new yarn base for Walcott Yarns at the festival, and there was a danger it wasn't going to arrive on time, so I was like glued to Instagram for the updates because I was very excited about the new yarn because I love Opus, so I was dying to try the new one. And thankfully the yarn arrived, so they got it all there at the festival, so it debuted at the festival, and I got myself a sweaters quantity. So the yarn base is called Origin, and I got 3 different colors. So this is the first color I got, which is called Spruce. So Origin is a worsted weight. It is 50% Argentinian merino, 50% fine Highland wool, and 100% free spirited. So similar to how Opus is 100% awesome, this is 100% free spirited, and it is inspired by Carmen's home state, which I believe is Oregon. Am I right? I'm pretty sure I'm right. Yeah, so the both in Opus and in Origin, like the color selection is so fantastic. Like the color taste is just mwah, and I loved it. And so I spent a bit of time trying to figure out 3 colors to go together. I have a couple of pattern ideas for this sweater quantity. So I got 4 of, am I lying? Did I get 4? Did I get 3? I got 4 of this. So this color is called Spruce. And then the other color I got to go with it is Hippie Heart, which is this pink. It's showing much more red on camera. And then this color is Lighthouse, which I think is just their undyed white. And I can get them, there you go. This is looking like red on camera. It is definitely a pink. It's like a ruby pink. So it looks very Christmas on camera, but in person, maybe it's because it gets this. And also, once I picked it out, I realized that it was kind of a similar color story than these 3, but it's kind of like a darker, moodier version. But yeah, so excited to knit up with these. I have a couple of patterns in mind, but it is a little bit lower down in the queue, but I was just very excited to kind of support and try out the new yarn base. Opus is wonderful yarn, and this feels as wonderful. It's not as super soft because it's not got alpaca, but I think it is designed to be like a really great sweater yarn, and I have no doubt that it will be. So I'm very excited to try that. So that was what I got from Walcott Yarns. They had tons of Spin Cycle as well, which I just completely ignored because if you know that I spent too much money on Spin Cycle recently, so I didn't I didn't get any more Spin Cycle. So the next room I went into was the Garthenor room. So Garthenor were one of the main sponsors of Unravel. They sponsored the talk series there, and they had an entire room to themselves. I went in there. I had intentions of getting some yarn for the Sojourn by Brandy Cheyenne Harper, which was from her newest book. In the end, the quantity I would have needed for that in Garthenor would have been so expensive, and I'd already spent so much money that I didn't end up getting the quantity for that. But I did get some, and I'm on the lookout to get something for that pattern because I really am obsessed with it. Probably will wait till the end of the year till we're back into winter again. But I did pick up 3 skeins of their number 3. So I got 2 of this color and 1 of this. So this is DK So this is Garthenor number 3, which is DK. It does, I think Sophie even mentioned this because I think she got some of this as well. It does feel like worsted to me because, let's pull out the origin. So if you look at you can see the weights here, like this is a worsted and this is supposed to be a DK. This is a heavy DK or this is a light worsted. But, and you know that Garthenor will definitely bloom because it's such like rustic natural yarn. And then this, the brown one is, so this is the shade Chalk and this is the shade Manx Morit, which is just wonderful. I really, really like it. It's super rustic. Doesn't smell super cheapy, but you know it's like wonderful organic yarn. Those of you who've been watching a long time, you know I've used a ton of Garthenor in the past. I have a ton in my stash that I need to use. And so I thought this would be a cool cowl, maybe, because I think it would be nice against my skin, or a hat. So it might be a colorwork hat or cowl is the plan, or maybe even mittens. Maybe cool mittens, maybe. But it's just yarn that I just really love. Like I just love the feel of it. It's like really, really great. And Garthenor do great work. I was chatting to Johnny, who is one of the proprietors, and they've just gotten a new space. I don't know if it's, and like new mill equipment and stuff like that. So like they'll be expanding even more and able to do even more. So it's a very exciting moment for them. Very, very busy. And they're doing like such great work, like just, you know, doing great non-superwash yarns with, you know that their sheep are being well looked after. Like, you know where it's coming from. And that's just like something that makes me feel good about knitting, about what I'm knitting. And then when I wear it, I know that I'm kind of part of a ecosystem that's taking care of the planet. So that's why I love Garthenor, and I had to pick up a little bit of that as well. And then the next thing I picked up, right, let me pull out all this random stuff that's ended up in the bag. So the next thing I picked up is this. This is from Qing Fibre. This I knew I wanted to pick up. It was on my list to grab some. So what I got is, this is called Veronita. It is 79% cashmere and 21% silk, supreme fluffy cashmere lace. It's 25 grams, it's 300 meters, and this is color 1258. So it's a gray, it's just a light gray. It's, let me see if I can get it up close so you can see. So it's silk and cashmere, majorly luxurious, super wonderful. I love it. I got 3 skeins. You'll notice there's only 2 in the bag because I've already swatched with this because I had a plan. So I'll tell you what's coming up in the next podcast with this. But it was something that I was so excited about. I had to just cast on as well, start swatching at least when I got it. So it's really wonderful. It's super, super luxury and treat yourself to something amazing. But yeah, I'm super, super excited about it. And they actually, I'm pretty sure at Unravel the colors weren't up yet, but they've just become available. I think I just saw the Instagram post that they're either up or very close to being up on the website. A whole variety of colors are available, and it's absolutely wonderful, and it's dyed in London as well, so I like that. And the bag is really cool. Everyone was jealous of my bag, and I'll be keeping this forever because it's really freaking cool. So that was Qing Fibre that I got from there, but they had loads of stuff. I mean, I had a long laundry list, so I didn't really, a long shopping list, so I didn't really shop. I kind of knew what I wanted, so I just kind of went and got that. The last thing I'm going to speak about is kind of the thing I could shop for. So when it came to Dyers, I wanted to support the 3 dye guys because we had the knit night together. And then there were a couple of others that I've been following for a little while that I wanted to support, and I wanted to try out their yarns. So what I have done in the end is I have, I got 1 skein from each dyer, so there was 5 dyers in total, And my plan is to make a Vertices Unite, and then that Vertices Unite will be like my Unravel Festival shawl. So I went around and picked 5 colors from 5 different dyers, and I will knit them together to make a shawl. So if you watch the previous episode, I'm working on the Woven Chevrons by Stephen West, and once I finish that, this is what I will cast on next in my kind of shawl project. So I will go in order of what I got. So I started with Dan from Bona Yarns, and I got, oh god, here we are with the French again. Thank you to everyone who said my French pronunciation was decent in the last episode. So this is, I can't even read the handwriting, Abat de Soufflé, I think. So this is it. Now, this is a very neutral, like, grey color. And that's Dan's logo. So this color is wonderful. I love this color. I love the way it's really, really subtle grey. Like, it's not like white. It's just this kind of funky, cool. Like, I love a sweater in this color. It is a 100% superwash merino, 400 meters. So it's like fingering weight. This is probably the most tame color you'll see from Dan. If you go to his website or Instagram, you'll see like his colors just have this like vibrancy that's just fantastic, and that I've never really seen in any other dyer. Like maybe Hedgehog Fibers has that kind of like really, really bright colors, but Dan has this kind of color sense that's like very different to what I would gravitate to normally. And I really did want to get something completely out there from his selection, but since he was the first one I was buying from, I wanted to keep it like as neutral as possible. So this is a beautiful color. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to use it. This is as I said, the most tame color you'll get from Dan. The rest of his colors are just fantastic and bright and wonderful. So that was the first color I got from Dan. Second on the journey was TedKnits from Ted. So this one I got from him is this color here, which is stunning. This is Blue Appetite. So it's not like appetite like when you're hungry. I think this one he does things based on like nature, so I'm assuming that's something natural, whether that's an animal or a flora or fauna, who knows. So this is 75-25 merino nylon, 425 meters, and yeah, this is pretty great. I really, really like it. And so you can see these two together. So I was starting to build the color story there. Then third on my list, so actually all of these dyers were in different rooms. So the next one I got, which is someone that I have been following for quite a while, is Weku Yarn. And I've been following them for a while. This is merino 4-ply, 100% superwash merino, fingering weight. So all of these are superwash. So this is the color I got. This is their logo, and this is the color, which is fantastic. As I said, we did laps. So this one, when I saw it on my first lap, I was like, this is it. This is the one. And the color is called Blue. And it's incredible. So you can see where we're at now. Are you loving this color story? Are you loving this color story? And so Weku Yarns, amazing. Their whole booth was fantastic. And Ted's was amazing. I mean, all these dyers, I gravitated to them all for a good reason. So yeah, so this is the color story we've got so far for the Vertices. We love. Then next was the Yarn Whisperer, which is Kitey. And this color is called Midsummer. This is Corriedale Sock 80-20 4-ply. And this is the color, which is like aqua, white, bit of yellow. So here we are with the colors so far. So it's another light color. So now, it's blowing out a bit. So now you can see we've got, this is the story. So it's like quite aquatic, quite, dreamlike, amazing. So I'm very excited already. And then the final color, I was like, you know what? We need something like completely different. We need like a contrast. And so then I finally reached someone I've been looking for as well, which is Pigment Ply was my final skein, and this is again Superwash Merino 2575 sock, so they're all sock weight. And this is called Flaming June is the color, and oh my god, how epic. It's so good. So this is the last one, and her labels are quite cool because this is actually a sticker, so very clever. And so this is, oh, if I can hold it, the story together. I can move the label back so I can show you the color. So this is the story we've got. I think it'll be absolutely amazing because we've got the whole dreamy line of blues and greens and greys and that, and then we've got this like incredible pop from the Pigment Ply. So those were the 5 skeins I got for what will be my Vertices Unite. A lot of color on the screen right now, guys. So yeah, I'm so happy, I'm so pleased, I'm so excited to cast this on. It'll be a little while before I do because I want to finish that other shawl first. But that was all my purchases. The funny thing was I was like getting the girls to help me, and at one point they all walked away and I had to like scream at Sophie to be like, Sophie, come back and help me, I need your help to pick a color. So I was very aggressive getting the girls to help me with all my color choices. But you know, once I had gotten the final skein, which is the lovely Pigment Ply skein, it was the end of a wonderful day. We all took photos together and went our separate ways. I walked around a little bit more with Sophie and Rebecca, and then Rebecca kindly walked me to the train station, and you know, I came away on the train with full bags and a full heart with some amazing people that I'd met in this amazing community. So it was, you know, it made me realize how grateful I am to have found this community, to found viewers like you, and be given the opportunities I've been given in this small way, and to have people who, you know, we all come from totally different walks of life, we live in different places, and yet we can all come together and have a really, really wonderful time and support each other and you know, celebrate this like wonderful craft together as like a wonderful loving community. So it, you know, I felt like Unravel really, really inspired that, and I am very excited to attend again in the future, and excited to attend other yarn festivals. If every other yarn festival is as half wonderful as this one was, it will be the best ever. So thank you to everyone who said hi. Thanks to the gang who hung out with me all day, and yeah, here's to many more fun Unravels and festivals in the future. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you liked it, and all the information from everyone will be down below. And if you have any questions, hit me up and let me know if you're planning to attend any yarn festivals this year yourself. I'd love to hear about any and all of them. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.